This is the Intimate Issues with Dr.O.
Blended family, that's what we're talking about. Actually, somebody's been telling me since last year that I need to share this. She's planning on remarry and they have kids, and they both have kids. So she's like, Dr.O, I've been watching you. It looks so easy, it looks so fun, but I'm scared. People are scaring her. You want to marry somebody with kids? I said, don't you have your own kids too? So gonna share this and we're gonna talk. You can put your comments there. I'm using the laptop, so I will not be able to add anyone. I don't think I'm able to add anyone. Please thank God this one is working today. So let's begin. What is blended family? Some of you call it step family. I have a step mom, I have a stepdad, I have stepson, step this, step that. I call it blended. Because if you're calling it step, it means it's not balanced. That's where I think, that's where I look at it. If you're saying step, okay, your stairs, 1 step, 2 step, you know, it's like this. But when you say blended, it has to all interwove somehow. So that's why I don't call it step. I don't believe in anything step. I was not raised like that. My parents raised everybody's kids like their own. So I grew up thinking everybody were my siblings, even though we know they were not, but that's the way we grew up. Nobody was a slave to anybody. Everybody do whatever they're supposed to do. We all function as one family. The only difference in my family was the last name. So we're talking about blended family. This is something we need to talk about. There are certain things we don't want to touch. It's sensitive. There's nothing sensitive about this. The most sensitive thing is we already blended anyway. We already stepped. So that's the most sensitive. The moment we say I do, the moment we all come together, then there's nothing sensitive about it that we cannot or we should not talk about. So please share. Kids can watch this. They need to hear. And I'm thankful some kids called me last week after the show. Apparently some, especially teenagers, they watch this. And I was so happy that, you know what, sometimes you're doing something, you think, well, you're just doing your own thing, and that's where I do my own thing. I'm just doing my own thing. But I feel blessed and I feel encouraged when people call me to tell me I watch your show. And last week I was extremely happy. I was really, really happy when teenagers began to call me, telling me, I watch your show on my mom's page. I watch your show. I did this. I was like, really? Well, thank God it was about parenting. So that was good. Some of you that allowed your kids to watch it or that you made your kids watch it, that is really, really good. When you see shows like this that kids can benefit, please let them watch it. I know I talk a lot about sex. I'm not talking, well, maybe I will because it's part of this today, but I'm not talking anything graphic that kids cannot hear. I don't think they don't know what is going on. They do know what is going on. Okay, so I'm really, really grateful. I talked to like 4 teenagers. One was really, really sad, which I posted on my group, Intimate Issues with Dr.O. I mean, sexual abuse is going on in the house, things that we close our eyes, things that we don't want to hear, things that we don't want to deal with. It's happening. It's my job. It's disheartening. Sometimes when I hear stuff like this, when I hear things, it's really, really disheartening. But you know what? Somebody has to talk about it. Somebody has to open the curtain and go behind the scene and talk about it. So the only one that I shared was this case that is being molested by our own dad. This is not even a stepdad. Okay, so I was happy that some of you allowed your kids to watch it. Another person called. Mom, he was grounded by her mom, so they watched the video together, and then they called and he was asking questions, and I was happy that he was able to ask questions. So don't think they're stupid. Don't think there are certain things they should not see, they should not hear. You know what, let them hear, because when you discipline them, it's like my mom is is mean. My mom is a witch. My mom is too hard. Let them hear from other people. Okay, let them hear from other people and let them hear the truth, because by the time they're calling their friends or they're learning from the streets, you're losing them already. So let them hear the truth. I know some of you, you don't even hear the truth from the church. That's the truth. Okay, so I'm happy that you allowed your kids to watch it. Let them watch this one too. We talk, especially if you have a blended family or you're planning on one. Okay, so we all know what step families are. And the funny thing, it's not really funny. It's not funny anymore. I posted yesterday to. It's not funny. It's huge. It's scary. It is very, very scary. What is happening these days with all these divorce and commotions in marriage. You know, marriage was ordained by God, and it meant well. It wants peace. That's the only way you can function. And if you have there's no perfect family, there's no perfect marriage, but when you have a happy one, when you have a peaceful one, you know what, you live like a king. It's like, wow, sometimes I feel like everything ends in this my house, because I feel that peace. The moment I step out, I know any craziness can happen out there, but the moment I know that I'm on my way home, I feel peaceful. I feel happy that I'm going home, even if there's nothing for me to do. Just sit down and just relax in my office or on the couch or somewhere. I don't watch TV. I can't even remember the last time I stepped into the living room. A couple of weeks now, I've been really, really busy. So when we crash, me and Mr. Steven crash on the bed or in the kitchen. We haven't even crashed in the living room in like a month. So your house should be peaceful for you. Your house should be a refuge for you. You should feel at peace when you are at home. And a lot of people believe that when you live in a blended family, it's not peaceful. When you live in a blended family, it's supposed to be commotion. It's supposed to be chaotic. Like, no, it should not be like that. Okay? And this is not something that we can make go away. Okay? We live in a crazy world already. So what we should do is, you get a divorce, oh, domestic violence, this and that. Anyhow you got the divorce, anyhow you think you want to get a divorce, anyhow you think you want to get that separation, anyhow you think, you know what, I'm tired of this marriage, I'm gone. Anything can happen after that. So for me as a counselor, for me as a coach, it's a concern. I posted something, I think earlier today. I said the state of marriage is very, very disturbing, because I'm the one that sits down or stand up every single day listening or reading from people that need help, or people that think, okay, a lot of people don't even ask for the help. But sometimes I'm so tired, like, Lord, I don't want to read that. Lord, I don't want to hear that, but I have to read it. I have to hear it because it's my job. So I was talking about my concern about the state of marriage. Okay, it is very, very scary, very, very scary these days. What is going on? It's like we've turned it to marriage of convenience. Everybody's just doing whatever they think, not even think is right, whatever they feel like they want to do. Or I keep telling you, the people you listen to, the people you follow, because by the time I was telling somebody, we had this women, I mean, great women. I had this meeting yesterday. I was so excited with ministers, women. We were talking, brainstorming and all that. Okay. And it's like, we already live in this crazy world. How do we make this better? And for me, as a person, it's a concern to me when I see things. It's like everybody's just doing whatever they feel like they want to do. So please, not people that you follow. I was telling them, I was boasting about my group, and sincerely, I will boast about my group anyway. A lot of people think, oh, Dr. O, we should have been more than that. No, we don't have to be. We don't have to be. And I know some of them are even overprotective, because they love the calmness. They don't want any drama. We used to have drama. We don't have that anymore. And I was telling these great women yesterday, I said, in 7 years that I started that group, I can see transformation. And that's what it is. I can see transformation. It wasn't easy for me when I started. People were like, who is she? Well, who does she think she is? Blah, 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 all that. But in 7 years, I can see God changing lives. I can see people changing. I can see improvement. I can see transformation and all that. So this year, I've started to do, little classes outside of the group. Singles, we just finished singles meeting 6 weeks, and that's like 12 hours. That's intensive 12 hours, because most times we spend 2 hours or more than 2 hours. And my thing is, okay, let's deal with certain things before they start. Let's combat divorce before you even think about it. You're single, you want to marry, because a lot of people think, I don't want to marry. Well, it's okay, that's what you want to do. But if you want to get married, then prepare yourself for it. Prepare yourself for it. I always think about preparation when it comes to marriage. I think about Esther in the Bible. She was prepared to be presented to the king. The king was already on his throne, okay? But he needed that queen. That queen, there are some positions that you cannot just walk in. You need to be prepared to function. You need to be prepared to be successful for it. And marriage is that special thing. It's a priority. There is no two way about it. A lot of people don't believe in premarital counseling. A lot of people do, because their church will make them. It's mandatory. But what are they teaching you at the premarital counseling? Because sometimes it's like you want to get divorced 1 month, 2 months after you get married. So why did you even waste your time going for premarital counseling? What was the topic? What were you talking about? If you feel like you want to get a divorce, why did you even get married? A lot of people will just say, I don't want to waste money, so let me just continue. Let our money be wasted. It's not wasted. Compared to the stress and the agony of going in the marriage when you know you were not ready for it, or you don't want to be there. Those are the things that add up to, okay, how did you end up divorced? How did I end up divorced? Well, I've shared that several times. I've shared that several times. I wasn't prepared for that marriage. I didn't know the person that I married. I was a mail order bride. So all of that. And then it became abusive and all that. So whose fault it is? It takes two people. My fault, his fault. I tried for 14 years. It didn't work. Well, I cannot die inside of the marriage. So I left. Was I prepared for it? No, I wasn't prepared. So it's not like blaming him only. I was part of the blame too. So before you even go into that marriage, are you prepared for that marriage? Do you really want to look back 20 years in this marriage and be happy like, oh, I made the right choice? Or you just got pregnant and you think, I have to marry him, or I have to marry her. Okay, it's okay. You don't want to have a child outside wedlock, but you know what? A lot of these things, craziness, whatever decisions we make, add up to we end up in divorce, and then we want to remarry again. Or you don't want to marry again. Somebody lost husband, you lose your spouse, you want to marry again. So a lot of things can add up to us ending up in a step family, blended family, a lot of factors. Some are fault, some aren't at fault, but whatever led you into being in one, or whatever is leading you into getting into one, you know what? It's a choice too. It is another choice that you're making. You want to remarry because the loss of a spouse, or you want to remarry because, you know what? You want to remarry, or you've never been married but you have kids. So my concern now, it's not that I'm not concerned about you adults. I am. I feel really concerned too, because I do. But I'm more concerned about the kids. I'm more concerned about the children, because these are the next generation. We need to, if you were not prepared for your own life, it's okay. It's not too late. That's why I always tell you, people, ask for help, seek for help, reach out to somebody. But for these children, I'm very, very concerned. Let us begin to prepare them for their own future. Let us begin to prepare them for our home peace. Because they're grown up, they see calling you, and I is banging my head on the wall, and my husband is slapping me, this and that. It's still part of your life. You're still going to be the one to have the unrest. If she's not resting, you're not resting. I don't know what mother, a good mother, that will hear that a child is not happy and you'll be happy. You can never be happy. And that's why some of us will not tell our parents what is going on. Because I didn't tell, I never told until I called my dad that I was getting separation. He wasn't shocked, he wasn't surprised, because at the time they knew that I wasn't okay. They just couldn't figure out what was going on with me. So please, let us prepare these children, okay? I'm gonna read some of the letters that I received. Sometimes some of your kids send me messages too without you knowing, because some will be like, okay, who is that woman she's been following all this while? Who is that woman she's been listening to? And they will send me messages. Some will, two called me last week. I'm like, who is this? Okay. So they know what is going on. They need help. Sometimes they think you don't want to seek for help, but they will seek for that help for themselves or for you. So please, let us begin to prepare these children. They're not, none of them, that as long as they can hear, even from 3 years old, you cannot sit a 3 years old down talking to him or her about marriage. But you begin to prepare them. The way you treat your kids, the way what you show them, what you teach them, what you train them with. These are some of the things that will carry them. These are preparations for the future. The way you behave in the house, the way you love your spouse, the way you talk to your spouse, they're watching, they're monitoring you. They're your monitoring spirit. If you don't know, you think they don't know, they do, they know. So begin to train them according to age. You don't want to sit a 7-year-old down and be talking about don't get pregnant. I'm like, mommy, what are you talking about? When you tell a 14-year-old or a 16-year-old, they will understand you better. So you have to train your kids according to their ages. Okay, so we're talking about blended family. If you're just joining, please share on your wall. Let's talk about this. You can send me inbox. If it's something I can read, I will read it now. If it's not something that we can deal with now, I will get back to that. How can you help your children heal from watching their mom being abused by their dad? That's a good question. Let me see if I should start from that. How can you help your own children from okay. Okay, I can start with that because I don't want to forget. How can you help your children heal? The best healing is get out of that situation first. There cannot be healing if you're still in that situation. I tell people all the time, Dr. You need to help my child, or you need to help me. Well, there's little that I can do. The only thing that I can teach you is survivor kit in that situation that you're still in. If you're still in that situation, there is little that I can do, especially if that dad that is still abusing you or the kids is still there and he has not changed or he hasn't get any help. Definitely the situation will continue. So how do you survive that abuse is what I can teach you. But how can you heal? You cannot begin healing when the situation is still going on. Like if you take the child for therapy, or if you go for therapy, you know what, you can just, I'll tell you, begin to plan, because you don't want to just rush out unless it's like, okay, it's a matter of life and death. If somebody is threatening you with, I'm going to kill you, because if Mr. Steven begin to tell me, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you, he will say it once. He cannot even joke with me with that word. With that phrase, I'm gonna kill you. So I will begin to like, okay, kill me one time. That's not a joke. The second time you still there and he's treating you like he's gonna kill you, choking you. I mean, threatening you with knife. If he has a gun in the house, threatening you with a gun, and you're still in that house, you cannot heal. So that's a matter of life and death, because that is physical and it's telling you and it's manifesting. So you need to run for your life. anyhow, you need to run for your life. The child in this situation can begin to get help when he or she is removed from that situation. There's no how you can do that, because a child that is getting counseling from school or from a therapist or something and still going to that house, how is that child going to heal? That child is never going to heal in that situation. So heal from watching their mom being abused by their dad. They cannot. They cannot. As long as the abuse continues, they cannot be healed. So that child or the children must be removed from that situation before healing can start. That's when healing can start. That's when you begin to train that child. You begin to change their mindset. What you saw, what you've experienced, what you've been seeing and going through is not normal. Because in some homes, it has become norm. That is beating mom. You just see the children turn around or go somewhere. Some will be fighting for their mom. Some will be fighting their dad. So it can never be better or healed. They're broken. So to mend the brokenness, to heal, they have to be removed from that. I hope I've answered that question. Exactly. Get out first. Yes, the only solution is to get out first. There's no healing until you get out. That's when healing can come. I don't care if you go to church or sleep in church, you fasting, going to the mountain or whatever. It ain't gonna help at all. It can never help. So that's that with that. Okay. So still talking about blended family. So we all know what that means. It's a result of parents marriage, a person who is not your biological parent. So blended family it's not only about marriage. You can adopt a child. You can have your family living with you. You have a maid living in your house. That's blended family, because that's not your biological child. Anyone that you do not give birth to biologically and you are staying together, these are all blended family. You're stepping into each other. You've all blended together. So how do we deal with each other? How do we cope with peace in the house? How can we experience peace in the house when everybody's just coming from everywhere? And some blended family, they're really, really blended. They are really, really blended. Okay. And survey says, I posted something, survey says nearly 1/3 of all marriages this year, meaning people getting married this year, we end up in divorce. That's huge. That's crazy. That's really, really sad. And nearly 1/2 of all marriages will eventually end in divorce. It means 50% of people getting married this year will end up in divorce. That's really, really sad. In many developed countries, third world countries, 1/2 of all births are to unmarried women. All these teenagers getting married, adults, young adults, old adults, normal adults, giving birth without husbands. This means the blended family has now become the norm, not an exception. It is a norm. So you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, you all know somebody that has a blended family. Today, at least 1/3 of all children in the US will live in a step family before they reach age 18. At least 1/3. 1/3. 1/3 means 1 out of every 3 kids. Is that not 1/3? Yeah, 1 of 3. Wow. 1 of 3 children will live in one step family before they reach age 18. So that is huge. I agree that you need to move out with the children from there. Oh yes, you have to. You have to. Moving out is the solution. How and when do you introduce your intended spouse to your children? Okay. How and when? You've been married before you have kids, because it's easier if you never have kids. But if you have kids, please don't bring men around your children. Do not bring men around your children. If you are not sure, even when they know you've seen somebody, don't bring them close to it. Especially kids that used to have a dad and you divorce him or move away. If they had a dad before, don't just bring men. Women, please, especially you. Men, they know how to do their shady things out there. Okay, please, you women, we're very vulnerable, gullible. Please, I'm begging you, Do not bring men, because the moment you bring in home, they know it's uncle so. That's my mommy's boyfriend. That's my mommy fiance. And then you break up. You know what? They will feel it more than you feeling it. So if you are not sure that this man, I can spend the rest of my life with him, I want to spend of my life with him, and he feels the same way, don't bring them home to your kids. Don't bring them close to your kids. The moment you know, okay, you know what, I can marry this man, it's okay, you can introduce them, because that's gonna be their new dad or their new mom. So you need to introduce at the appropriate time, and that appropriate time depends on you and what you want to do. But if you're just going out with a guy, or you just need a companion, don't bring them close to your kids. You don't want them to be seeing you with this man. Okay, Uncle Jide is not even coming here again. Uncle Kunle used to be here. By the time you know it, they're counting 4, 3, 5 men for you. That is not good. You don't want your kids to see that. So how and when? How is some kids, they've not even gotten over your separation or divorce from their father. So you don't want to throw another man into their lives. And if you left that marriage because of abuse or domestic violence especially, you don't want to bring another man to intimidate them. You don't want to introduce another man to them, because they're still grieving. They're still holding on to that life. Either you like it or not, either it was abusive to them or not, they're still missing that man walking around the house screaming at everybody. So when you leave a marriage, and you, especially domestic abusive sexual abuse marriage, please, I'm begging you, however you're gonna do it, if you're gonna work to pay for a therapist, for a counselor, please do that and get that for your kids. Personally, I do not want you to get married without getting help first for your children. If you think you don't need it, you need it too. Either the separation was amicable or bittered. However you get separated from the father or mother of your children, please get help for them. Get help for them. Get counseling for them. Get therapy for them. Whatever you want to do, get it for them. When you know they're fine or they're working it out, because healing does not come at once. Depending on how long they've been there, depending on how long you've been separated, depending on how long you've separated them from their family. Because however you want to see it, you separated that family, either for good or for no good reason. You separated that family. So you have to be the one to get help for them. You have to help them. You need to get that help for them for a successful next journey. Okay, so please, some things are just very, very important. They're priorities. They're not maybe. No, they're not maybe. They are priorities. You must do it. It is a must. You don't go into another marriage without getting help for your kids for now. So part of what a skill counselor should talk about in therapy is, okay, because I will ask that child, if your mom wants to, how would you feel if your mom wants to remarry? Or how would you feel if your dad introduced another woman to you? Okay, you want to know how they will feel. You want to tell them why you want to remarry. And then when you know, okay, we want to go into another marriage, you both agree, you're getting married, you introduce the kids to each other, one another, then you need help again. Most people do. For you to say you don't need help to integrate that blended family, that's why we're having all this craziness going on in the homes. Okay, so you need help. Like, okay, we want to get married, get help, get counseling, get couples counseling, get family counseling. Sit down, and if you know you can be your own therapist in the house, call a family meeting. I still call family meeting every time in my house. Let's sit down and talk about things. Let's think, let's reason together. Okay, actually, when I married Mr. Steven, my kids were the one that was like, okay, this man loves you, and I know you love him too. And that Tony with the big mouth said, if you don't marry Mr. Steven, I know you never gonna be happy in your life. I know you will regret it. So mommy, I think you should marry him. This man loves you, you know? So that was, because you all ask me all the time, how did you get the boldness to go ask Mr. Steven to marry you? Well, I have the battalion behind me saying you can do it, and he loves you, and I know they will accept him, and I know, well, it's not going to be a threat to them, and I know he will love my kids. So before I change my mind, or before he feels like, because we were so comfortable with each other, he thought I was his wife, and I told him I am not your wife yet. I'm not married to you. So all this comfortability that you're enjoying is okay, but we're not married. Let's get married, because I know for sure if I don't marry you, well, whoever I'm married to is in trouble. So I know I love you. I know I'll be happy with you. Let's get married. You understand? He didn't say no, and that's how we got married. So I know it will make my life happy. And then before we got married, okay, let me see if there's another question. The children are affected psychologically. That's why the mother should be cautious in going to another relationship or marriage. Well, I support getting help through counseling. Yes, there's no two way about it. I'm not even going to give you any pat on the back like, you need it. You need it. You need it. Either way, you get a divorce from their father or separation, or you've never been married, and now they see that you want to marry. Well, this is a man coming into their life. You need to do the right thing. Get help, get counseling before you integrate that family, before you blend that family. Okay, so we're talking about kids. I'm really concerned about the kids in the relationship, in the marriage. So before you get married, you need to sit down with yourself. You are the one that wants to marry a mother of with 3 kids. You are the one that wants to marry a father with 2 kids. Or if you're never had your own children, you still want to marry somebody that has kids, then you need to sit down. How can I do this successfully that I will have peace, that I will not end up taking medication for hypertension, that I will not end up having sleepless nights? You need to sit down first before you even discuss with that other partner. Okay, can I handle this? How many kids does he have? How many kids does she have? I don't have my own kids. Oh yes, I have my own kids. Can we manage 6 children together? I'm still talking about kids because it could be adult children. I'm talking about teenagers now, at least till age 21 and so. 21 is a full-grown adult. So there's another topic for that. Dealing with adult kids in blended family is another thing entirely, but they're both the same basic ideas. So for me now, I'm focusing on the kids below 21, okay? So before you start asking me questions. Whose kids are those? Where is the biological father or mother? Is she or he involved in the children's lives? Okay, Mr. Steven wants to marry me. He has his own 2 kids. I have my own 3 children. Whose kids are those? Well, I had 3 kids for another man. Another woman had 2 kids for him. His kids, my kids, we will separate. We never married now, okay? Where is the biological father or mother? I'm the mother. He's the father of those kids. Where is the biological father of my kids? He's somewhere, okay? She's somewhere. I have the kids. I'm the woman. Mostly in this country, women get the kids. Nigeria is like the man wants the kids with them. You know what? Let your woman nurture these kids, especially when they're still young. You just be responsible the way you're supposed to be responsible as a father. I will never, unless, because there are some women they're not fit enough to be parents. So in that case, that you know this woman cannot take care of these children. Yes, in Mr. Steven's case, he loves kids. He can take care of kids without a woman. A man like that, well, you know, he will take care of those kids even better than you. Let him have the kids. Custody, sit down and see how you will be doing it. Rotation, vacation, It's so sad when I see parents yanking kids up and down. Don't do that to them. Do not do that to them, okay? So, whose father? Where's the biological father? Where's the biological mom? This is in the case of divorce and everything. What if you bring your niece? Where is the biological father? Is he dead? Is she dead? The parent. Okay, let's assume you have a maid in your home. Where are the parents? She's working for you. Number one, for me, I will never have any maid in my home. I lived in Nigeria 2 years after I've lived here. Lived in Nigeria for 2 years. I had an adult. She's my housekeeper. She still calls me. Actually, she says, send me a message this morning. Okay? She was treated as family. She wasn't living with me. Resume in the morning, go to your home at night. I do not support that you should have kids in your home working for you as maids. Somebody's getting paid. Most times they're not even the parent of these children. Most times it is poverty that will make a parent send their teenagers to go work. I see made as young as 10 years old. For real, they're still supposed to be nurtured. And they're the one taking care of your kids, and you're happy that a 13-year-old is the one taking care of your home for you. You should be ashamed of yourself. I need to say that. You need a housekeeper. Get an adult to do that job. Okay? Your maid living with you is still part of your blended family. Where are the parents? Is she or he involved in the lives of the parents? Okay. The other father, is he involved? The other mother, is she involved? Because these are all the things that comes together that give you peace or unrest. Okay. So, if you've been separated from the father or the mother of your children, sit down. It's not like you're taking permission from her or him to get married. Okay, I want to get married, and this is the way I want to do. Custody will change when you want to get married, when you want to remarry. Okay, who has the kids? All that you need to sit down and talk. In the case of it's not, or she's not the type that you can sit down and talk to, like my ex. It's just never that person. Even though I talked to him before he left, but you know, some people just want to be who they are. They can never change. But no matter how the other parent behaves, you have these kids on your priority list. Whatever works best for them is good. It's not about you. It's not about him. It's not about her. It's about the kids involved. Is the new spouse referred to as dad or mom? I know for Nigerians, for Africans, that's not going to be a problem. That's not going to be a problem, because even either they're your, sorry, you didn't hear from me. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Is the new, okay, for, I was saying for Africans, it's never a problem. Even kids that live in your house, that they still call you mommy and daddy. Even your staff still call you daddy and mommy. So it will not be a problem as an African to call your mom's husband daddy. For kids born overseas, they probably will look at you like, it's not my daddy, she's not my mommy. But the thing is, you don't force kids. When I first got with Mr. Steven, my kids used to call him Mr. Steven. But I never sat them down to say you have to call him daddy. He treated them like he's their dad. He's been treating them like they're his biological children. So I didn't even know when that changed, but I know the moment we got married, they started calling him daddy. That was it. And when his children came, I'm their mom when they're with me. It was never an argument. It was never a debate. We never had to drag anything like that. Does the new spouse make rules? Who enforces the family rules? Okay. When you blend together, you need to know who you are. You need to know who your spouse is. You need to know these children individually, okay? And that's how you treat them. That's how you make your rules. Whatever tradition they had where they're coming from, whatever tradition they had with your previous marriage, whatever tradition they had with their parents, this is a new home that you're making together. This is a new family that you're building together. You need to have your own family tradition, okay? That's how you can make things work. It's not like this is the way we used to do, and my dad will let me do this. My dad will allow me to do that. That's fine. Share, please. Yeah. Please share. Share. It's okay. We need to share this. Okay, I'm gonna read this. Let me quickly finish this thought. Have your own family tradition. Sit down with your kids. This is a new home. Make your own rules. And when you're making your own rules, please think about these kids. You cannot just come from nowhere, because you're just coming from nowhere. You're starting to build and begin to make ridiculous rules that will just make them hate you. You have to study these kids. At least you've been going out with their mom. You've seen them before you can say, okay, we're Mr. and Mrs. You must have met them. You must have studied them. This is what Mr. Stephen did. You know, my kids are very, very well behaved. They're good kids. But I think it dawned on them like, hey, this is another daddy. This is another man. And for their dad, he really, really started them down before he left and polluted their mind. So he already prepared them like, you know what, I'm your daddy, no other person. Whoever comes here is the one that broke this house, that broke this family. Can you imagine? You sat children down, poisoning their mind. And he told Toby, you're the man of the house, this and that, this and that. And I realized, like, these are not the kids that I was raising. What is going on? And I realized what happened. Because we would talk to them, because the moment I told him I'm separating from him, he began to poison their mind with all sort of things. I never called my kids to do any of that, because I know I've seen a lot in counseling to know, like, you can't do that to kids. I've seen a lot of kids damaged, and I know you cannot do that to them. So I tried my best as a mom to, you know what, things are happening. It's okay. It's not your fault. We're both adults that could not make things work. And it's never your fault, but I still want you to be okay. So the first time we went out with Mr. Stephen, oh my God, I've never seen my kids like that. They misbehaved. It's like it was silent drama, just silent drama. And Mr. Stephen is very, very sensitive. Actually, I'm the only one in this house that is not sensitive. All of them, all of the kids and him, they're sensitive. So every little thing touches all of them. So I was watching. I knew he wasn't happy. He was really, really sad. So he dropped us at home. He called me later, like, what? I said, don't worry. It's not them. Those are not my kids. You've met them before, and this is not them. I know what is going on. And I just told these kids, you know what? I didn't tell Mr. Stephen anything. I think he went for counseling by himself. He went for counseling. He paid for counseling by himself. Like, okay, I want to marry this woman. How do I live with the kids? What do I do? He went looking for that by himself. What do I do? In fact, he's been gone for like 3 sessions before he even told me I'm seeing somebody. I said, that's good for you. That's okay. So he came back with this new mindset of, I'm not their biological father, but if I'm going to marry this woman, then I have to love these kids like I'm their real father. And that's what he's been doing since. I never told my kids, you have to love him. No, you can't tell kids like that. He has to prove. He has to be the one to show them that he loves them like his own. He has to be the one to show them that I love your mother no matter what. He has to be the one to be father to them. And he has to prove that I'm not here to take your father's position, but I'm a father, and I'm going to be that to you. I'm not here to. He did all that. And they saw through that. And before you know it, they started calling him daddy. In fact, they're closer to him now than they are closer to me. They call him, they tell him anything. When my daughter started her period, he knew first before I knew. Can you imagine that? Somebody is thinking about a boy, or somebody is thinking about a girl. He knows before I know. In fact, some things like, don't tell mommy, because I'm the disciplinarian. You have to play that good cop, bad cop with your kids. So they tell him things first, because they know he's so calm. It's Mr. Stephen. He's so calm. Mommy is very busy. And they will tell him. And they know whatever answer they get, they will get from me. So they prefer to tell him stuff before I hear about it, But because most times it's like, no, 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 no. So they would like to hear his own no rather than hear my own no. Because they know his own no means something. It's very, very important. If he has to say no, he would have thought about it. But sometimes I'm busy talking to a client, you tell him, Tony does that. So most times it's like, no, because you know, I have to get off this phone so I can listen to you, or I have to raise my head up from this book before I can listen to you. So make your own rules, studying and knowing the kids that you have. Don't just make rules because this is where you've been treating your children. Now these are other kids that you blend in with your own kids. So what works for Bola may not work for Tommy. So you have to know them and know what they like and know what they love and begin a new family tradition. Okay? And if you're going to tell them, no, your mom used to allow you to do that, your dad used to allow you to do that, in this house, this is the way we believe, especially when they still have access to the other parent. They're still going to go there. She's still going to allow them to do that. So when you have new rules, please let the other parents know, like, you know what? Whatever decision we make for this case is for their own interest, is for their own good. So sit together, plan together, and if you're a parent that don't want to see or don't want to talk, it's still okay. But if you know these kids will still have access to the other home or to the other parents, you know what? Train them before they leave your house. In fact, a lot of parents will later tell me like, when they came, they changed, but you know, it's a good change. It's okay. Any decision must be good for these kids, okay? My son had a conversation with me and said, Mom, it's okay if you want to have a relationship, but remember, I only have one father. I will respect him, but he is not my father. He was 21 when we had that conversation. That's okay. He's 21, he's an adult already. I only have one father. That's good. And you know what? Sometimes these kids, if you ask my kids who is their father now, they will tell you Mr. Steven. Because the dad is not even in their life. I didn't shut him out. Some parents will just behave in ways that you don't expect. So in the case, because some people are good, no matter how, we still have good people out there. If you have, it is possible to have 4 good parents in the lives of this blended family. You now married their mom, their dad, their mom. You are still talking together. It's okay. Let these kids, you all have to, if you're all in good terms. I'm really enjoying this. I have been blessed. Thank you, ma'am. If you're all in good talking times, there's no reason you cannot sit down and plan for these kids. I don't see any reason you cannot do that. I will do that. You know, Mr. Steven kids, when we first got married and the kids came, I think, did we go there to pick them? No, they came. They came by plane because they live in New York. We live in Atlanta. They came. You know, they were really, really young at that time. The kids were still young. Now they're all taller than me, except Destiny, we call him short man. They are still very young. So see me for the first time. Their dad already prepped them. We talk on video chatting and everything, and they wanted to come and see me. So we did. They came. You know, the boy was the first to warm up to me. Bola is always this reserved one, and probably his mama told her some things too. So she came with that reservation and all that. Don't do that to kids. Let them make their own decision. To a child, you know what? Black and white is probably the same color until you tell them, no, she's white, she's black. She's white, she's black, she's black, she's white. Until you tell a child that that woman is wicked, is a witch. She doesn't know. She sees an elderly person that loves her, that is smiling at her. She warms up. Until you tell your child, don't warm up to strangers. And sometimes you can tell when you go to the store and you see a child, you smiling and they do like this. I'll quickly look at the parents, because I know your mom must be a mean person, or your mom must have warned you, don't smile at people. Or your mom is just this mean person that doesn't smile, so you think it's normal not to smile. Until we begin to pollute the minds of the kids. They're so innocent. So when you see a child misbehaving, it's probably something that they've soaked in by watching you, or something that you planted in their lives by talking or behaving. So they came, and they were still young. There are things you don't talk to kids about, but I open up to them, and I told my kids before they came, because it's like, you're gonna have a brother and a sister without me getting pregnant. So instead of 3 people, you're gonna be 5. And they're my kids, they're my children. As a matter of fact, they have my own last name. You have a different last name. But in this house, either last name is different or the same. We are the same. So I already talked to my own kids. We had a family meeting with Mr. Steven. These are my Mrs. They're your own brother and sister. You treat them like that. Anybody that is in this house, either your my friends are child or whoever, the moment you enter my house, you're my family. You're my blended family. You are treated as family. You cook, you eat, you do anything. You come into my room, you see something in my closet, you take it. Your family. And I don't just bring people into my home. I have to know in my spirit that you're family, that you will be a family. So when these kids came, you know, kids, Tony is she can be friend to anybody. But the other 2 of them, one, Toby still had that mindset that his dad put there, like, you know what, it's never your father, it cannot be your father, this he already, but they're good kids, they can always behave around me, so they were still, so when they came the first time, it wasn't really pleasant, you know, the struggle for my dad, your dad, because now my kids see Mr. Steven as their dad, so it's like, some kids are coming to snatch. It was funny. We had fun. Me and Mr. Steven had fun watching the drama. We didn't say anything. I said, leave them for the first week. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay? Toby, it was the little one that will be struggling. Debola is always reserved. So it's like fighting for daddy and fighting for mom. The one that just came are like, can I warm up to her? Can she be my mother? What would that? And the ones that just came like, this is my father. Okay, it was silent drama. So I called the family meeting after the first week and told them, you know what, in this house, everybody's entitled to the mom and the dad. Come onto my bed. The way Tony is going to jump into my bed is the way Debola, you can come jump into my bed. The way Dyson can say, Mommy, I'm scared, can I sleep on your bed? Is the same way Tony can say, Mommy, I want to sleep here. And when they were all young, oh my goodness, sometimes we have to go lock her door so they would not come in. These kids, they would just come. Everybody just want to comment. I think they were still testing. Does he love me? Does she love me? So we had that drama for like 1 or 2 weeks. After that, and the ones that just came realized, you know what? He's treating us like she's behaving like she's our mother. You sit down and cook. And I can't even remember how old was Deborah. That was 7 years ago. That was 8 years ago. She's 14 now. So she was like 7 years or something. Tommy was already cooking egg and all that. Okay, you're just 2 years apart, so you'll be closer to each other. Teach her what to do in this house. The youngest one was like, I think 3 years old at that time, or 4 years old at that time. When you play, you clean. So they were all teaching one another what to do, how to do. By the 3rd week, because it was, what was that first vacation? I think it was summertime. Yeah. I think it was summertime or December, Christmas time. I can't even remember. But by the 3rd week, Mr. Steven and I was just having fun. They were blending. Sometimes there will still be conflicts, you know, still thinking in their head, it's my dad. It's not your dad. She's my mom. She's not your mom. Now, in fact, the only difference in my house is the last name. For real. You don't know. Told me we'll leave Tony in this house. We'll call Debola in New York and be talking. And so everybody know who their clique is. You know, no matter what, they still have clique. So you have to make your home comfortable for whoever lives there. For you to have peace. For them to leave you alone. Let them deal with themselves. Don't be the one having favorites. They're my own children. They're his own children. For what? You can't live long like that. You will continue to take high blood pressure medication. I never miss this. Okay, please show some love to Dr. O. Yeah, show some love to Dr. O. Thank you. Okay, let me go along. I'm trying to finish some of these questions. And if you have yours, just post it there. I'll quickly show. So you have to be the one to make it comfortable for the kids. The other parent or the kids, maybe I only have one mom. That's okay. My kids know in the moment when you're with me, Mr. Stevens, your dad, Dr. O is your mom. The other two, they don't live here full time because they were young. I cannot fight custody from another one because of child support or anything. No, let them enjoy their mom. Mine are enjoying me. So every vacation they come here. First time that I met their mom, I mean, they've been separated, divorced before we met. It wasn't like, okay, I snatched her husband or anything. But I just wanted to meet this woman that I'm going to be having her kids. She wasn't comfortable, you know. People are different. The way you will react is not the same the other parent will react. She never calls me, I never call her. When the kids are with her, I don't disturb them. They call me, Mommy, how are you doing? You know? And I tell them, you don't have to struggle. When I'm here, I'm your mom. I'll be everything your mom. When you're there, she's your mother. And you have access to your father anytime. Call anytime. You want to call me? Call. You missing me? Call me. You need something? Let me know. But there's everything. I go buy gifts sent to them. It's not like, okay, the dad is sending money to them monthly. So what? That's none of my freaking business. If my child is not living at home with me, it's his birthday, or is missing Christmas with me, I still have to send gifts to them. Like I will send. Sometimes it's like, okay, all these gifts and we have to mail them. Yes, we have to mail them. Sometimes they get more than the ones here because it's like they're not here. And the gifts have to be there. They have to open when we open. We have the same phone plans with the one paying for their phone. Everybody gets the same thing. Treat them the same way. So you don't bring rivalry. So they're not struggling for power. They're not struggling for attention. When Deborah came here last summer, was it last summer? She came, I realized the first 2 days she wasn't happy. Her dad was so concerned and it's like, how would somebody's not abusing this child? I said, I don't think so. Deborah would have called you at least. I mean, for 2 days, we didn't know what was going on with her. So I said, leave her, let me talk to her. So I took her into the bathroom. That's where I have good conversations. We sat down and I was like, okay, what's going on? He said, nothing. I said, come here, hug me. Because it's been 6 months, right? It's okay. Okay, I think that was the first year because we've been in this house. We just moved, been in this house. So the first time they come to meet us in this new house, I think she came, the house is different, it's bigger, it's comfortable, it's peaceful, this and that. So I said, what is going on? You wish you live here. I understand. What else is going on? I said, it's a different environment that you've always come to meet us. This is our house, okay? We bought a new house. We wanted something bigger for everybody. You don't live here, but it's okay. Toby's in college. He only comes on once in a while. When Destin comes, Destin get that room. When Toby's home at the same time with Destin, they share the room. Toby's almost gone. He's in second year in school, college now. Told me, you have a king-size bed in that room. Both of you click together. It's okay. When you come into this house, this is your home. I'm your mother in this house. Daddy is always going to be your father. Nobody's going to compete that with you. Anytime you're here, you are welcome. And if God blesses me with twins, you have more siblings. So I have 7. He said, Mommy, you want to have twins? I said, yeah, I want to have twins. 7 is okay. If I can deal with 5, I can deal with 7. So what is going on? Then she started crying. She cried. I left her. I called her father. I said, go talk to her. They both cried. I would not cry, but I knew Mr. Stevens because I wanted somebody to cry with her. So he went to meet her. They cried. Then she came back like, what is really going on? I said, don't worry. I finished where I started. I just wanted you to cry with her because you're the crying baby. So I realized she feels like she want to be here. But if she goes, would she be betraying her mom? Because she's been she has been injected with some things. Okay. And I started talking to her, not as a client or a therapist, but as a mother. I said, you know, anytime you're here, you're welcome. When you're in this house, it's your home. Okay? So, whatever you're thinking, I'm not going anywhere. Nobody's taking your father from you. Anytime you want us in New York, we'll be there. Anytime you want to come here, you're free. You're 14. I think she was still 12, 13 at that time. She's going to be 15. These kids are growing for real. Oh my goodness. I said, now, because we have to pay for administrative costs separately from their tickets when they want to come, because they're kids. I said, you're growing. Before you know it, you guys will be traveling by yourself without any administrators all over you in the plane. I said, it's okay. You know what? We create this life for you. It's not your fault, but it's okay. It's fine. I said, I love you no matter what. I'm going to love you. Okay? You miss me. You want me to come? Just call me. I'll buy the ticket. I'll come. Anything you want. If you can't get daddy, call me. I'm your mom. And I'm Destiny's mom. I'm Toby's mom. So she looked at me. She didn't say, are you serious? Tony would have asked, seriously, you mean that? And I would have said, you didn't know that in the past 5-6 years that we've all been together. But Debola would just give you the nod, the look like, I understand you. And she said, okay, mommy. She hugged me. We hugged. I said, see, I'm not the crying baby. That is the crying baby. That's why I have to go get him to cry with you. Okay, but you know what? It's from my heart. We hugged. We did everything. Okay. So later, the following day, then I realized, well, she began to open up. She began to move around. She began to run around. She's the most reserved, actually, of all of them. Him and Toby, the reserved. She can lock herself in the room for 1 week and you will not know somebody's there. Tommy does that too. So you have to see how they behave and treat them. You cannot treat kids the same way. No. The following day, I called all of them. Brought out bills and house deed and mortgage payment. I said, okay, everybody sit down. In this house, we're one family. We're the Olufemi family. Even though you three, your last name is Komolafe. I know one time my son was really fighting us. He wanted to change his name because it's like, you know what? This is the man that has been there for me all this past 8 years. So this is the man that I know. I say, I'm not going to do that for you. I don't want people to think I convinced you. When you're 21, you can do whatever you need to do with your names. The girls, they will marry anyway. So nobody should put anything on me. So I sat them down. I said, what do you see on this bill? Some bills are in my name. Some, I think it's only one bill that I put in Mr. Stevens' name, because sometimes you need something official. They want you to bring your bill, because I'm the one that sit down like, have you paid the gas bill? Have I paid this bill? I show them everything. The bank account, I brought it out. Whose name? The two names. Okay? I said, Stephen Olufemi, Olusola Olufemi. The house mortgage, whose name? The two names. I said, so it means whatever we own, whatever we have, he owns it, I own it, I have it, he has it. It's joint. We blend it. So whatever you see in this house doesn't belong to Toby. It belongs to the 5 of you. Whatever we own in this house doesn't belong to you, Debola. It belongs to the 5 of you. When we're planning, we're not planning for 3 kids because 3 lives in this house and 2 joins, like, live with us 3 months in a year. Whatever we plan for 7 people. So nobody should think that's my mom's car, that's my dad's car. No, if I want to use the Escalade, I get the key and use the Escalade. If you guys go out with me shopping, don't think mommy taking us out to spend our money. No, I'm spending our money. Don't think when daddy takes you out, well, mommy should not hear. Well, sometimes they do that. It takes them out, just spoil them. But don't think I'm spending money, it's my mommy's money. No, it's not your mommy's money, because sometimes I'm buying stuff for you. I'm buying for the one in New York. I'll probably leave it for them here or mail it to them if it's going to be a stretch like 2, 3, 4 months before I see them. So don't have that entitlement like she's my mother. No, I'm mother to 5 of you. And I'm planning to have more. So you all can be screaming and be running up and down in the house. That's how you treat kids. That's how you train them. And that's how you do not turn one to slave for the other. That's how you do not turn one to be the one serving the others. No, you don't treat children like that. You don't even know. I had a client that called me 2 days ago. She's old. She brought up all the kids. Actually, she married this man when the wife died. So she raised all of them. And she said, Dr.O, Simio, please share. Yes, share. You want people to hear this. She said, even her own biological children, they will not even remember to call her. They will not remember Christmas gift. They will not remember birthday gift. The 2 kids that she adopted, she inherited, she blended, had the one that will call mommy, Shetty John, mommy, are you okay? They'll be the one to call first. They'll be the one to send gift. They'll be the one to send her money. I said, you're reaping what you sow. So it was the old ones that are now calling their siblings like, what is wrong with you? How can you abandon mommy like that? Okay, it was the other one that said, everybody must meet this Christmas. We're coming home. I don't know what is wrong with you. The way what you sow into children's life is what you will reap. Trust me. You don't know. The Yoruba will say, Amen. Your children will not die before you in Jesus' name. Okay? Amen. That's the prayer of every parent, that your kids will be the one to bury you. But you know what? Sow the good seed into the lives of your children. Don't feed them and take one into the room and give her extra. Don't say, okay, all of you. Sometimes if I don't even want to spend my money, I'll tell them, okay, we're all going shopping. Everybody get $50 each. Whatever you like to do with your $50. Some of them will remember to buy. Well, I think I'm blessed. I cannot lie about that, because they will remember, because like Christmas time, okay, they are not working. Now, some of them are making money, so I'm not even giving them money to buy Christmas gift for me. I'll give them $50. We used to just give them $50. Go buy gift for whoever you want to buy gift for. They're so smart. They will make sure they buy for everybody with their $50. This is how you train kids. By the time Toby started work 2 years ago, no, last year, well, these kids are growing. I'm even confused. It will help them chip in, chip out. It will buy gift for everybody. Buy gift for everybody. Somebody's birthday. Okay, May is around the corner. We have the most birthdays in May, 3 of us. You see them shopping on Amazon. I don't even know anything again. They all call each other, talk to each other. That's how you raise kids. So it's not like, okay, I can't even talk to her. She's not my mom. I can't even talk to her. I can't even reach her. Don't treat kids like that. Don't raise them like that. Thank you for this knowledge. Thank you, ma. Okay, Star June. What did I say that you were laughing? Yes, please. So raise them in love. Show them love. Where did I stop? What is their relationship? Who gets along? Yes, who gets along? In this house, it's a matter of it is mandatory. You have to get along. You know, sometimes kids fight. We don't have all that. Nobody looks, nobody fights. I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear that. Everybody get along. But when you say really, really get along, you know, you have to know what you like. Tommy and Debola, they're close because they like same things. They're these quiet, super diligent 2 people. They live in the same room when Debola is around. So they're kind of like, okay, close. Tony is like 3 years older than Destin, 2, 3. Okay, they're kind of close. Toby is grown now, he's in college, so he behaves like the daddy for them. Takes them out, buys stuff for them. Destin and Toby lives in the same room, so they kind of like know their own stuff. And sometimes, and now that he's driving, he's working, he has his own money, it will take him, go do stuff. The girls will be jealous. And Tommy's not driving yet. She's learning to drive. I said, don't worry. By the time you drive yourself around, you take the girls too. So I'll take the girls, and Daddy will take the boys sometimes, and then they will sneak. Toby will sneak with Des. So you have to know who clicks with you, even within the same family, even if they're the same biological parent. Sometimes you don't click with every sibling on the same level. Okay, so you have to know. Okay, I like the same thing. Toby and Destin do the video game. They love the same movies. Okay, Debola and Tommy, sometimes they always like the same thing, the same sneakers. So when Mr. Steven is buying stuff for them, is okay, Debola and Toby will like this. Like, yeah, definitely they will. You buy that for Tony, you're wasting your money. So you have to know how they click. And one thing that I do, even though I have 5 kids, what I do is you still want to get to be close to these kids individually. You still want to show them stuff individually. I'll sneak one out. I'll tell them, okay, I'm going out with Debola tomorrow. I'm going out with the girls tomorrow. I'm going out with Tommy tomorrow. Okay, somebody has an appointment, dental, dentist, whatever. You take just her, just because you want to be with her, and just talk to that child and just hear that child's opinion and see how he feels or she feels in the house or with the sibling or what is going on in school. This is how you get to know them. Okay? What is their relationship like? When you show love, you know, our kids, they know we love each other, because if they're going to insult us now or just run their mouth, or those two, they know we love each other. We don't have to tell them. They see. And it's not like we're faking or anything. Kids, they will hear what you say, even though you think you lock your door, even though you think, okay, you're getting away from them, you're back there, because if I'm talking in my bathroom and you're telling me you hear from the doorway, you must have been eavesdropping, because I would have closed 2 doors from my room to the bathroom and then the closet. How can you hear me? But kids hear sometimes. You will be surprised what they hear. You'll be surprised what they see. So what they see is how they will be behaving to each other too. Our kids know that, you know what, if you like, fight with yourself. You will be the one to settle it. You will not come and tell me, okay, it's because Debola just get here from New York. You're fighting with her. Why are you guys fighting? They won't even let it reach my table. No. The CEO, because I'm the CEO in this house. Women, you're the CEO. And for you to be the CEO, you must put your house in order. We were talking about, somebody will, Sister MC posted something about submission yesterday. I said submission. Why do people even drag that? I don't see. If you live your life according to what God means the marriage institution to be, you don't need to drag headship, submission. No. The Bible says submit to that man as you will submit to God. So the way you will treat God is the way you should treat your husband. Am I turning him to a God? It's your small God. God is manifesting through that man. So you should manifest love and submission through that man. You don't respect your husband at home. You're respecting pastor, saying, my pastor, you're just a stupid person. That's the truth. And man, God said, love your wife as Christ loved the church and gave himself for her. Jesus killed himself for the church. Can you kill yourself for your wife? What? That's scary. I know. I'm just saying that's how you should love your wife. Somebody is bringing a gun. Can you jump in front of your wife to take that bullet for her? Some of you even talk about your wife. Somebody else want to shoot her for you, like, So if you love each other dearly, submission is not an issue. And when you submit to your husband, let me tell you, you just be controlling his brain. And people will tell you, you have done juju, you have done voodoo. It's not voodoo. Share, yes, please share. Share the video. I'll check my emails later and see if I need to read out anything. Yes, you can share. People, they will think you have done some voodoo. I'm sorry for Mr. Steven. I tell him too, he has cooked a food for me. The first food he cooked for me was mommy. I said, what did you even put in that your money? And every time you cook mama, it's like something changes, like you're upgrading yourself. And then it will tell me every time you go to Nigeria or every time you cook that UFO, you renew that UFO. We make fun like that. Kids see, they know, they see you, they watch you. So for them to be fighting, they know they cannot come because he's my father, she's not your father or your mother. Then somebody will come behind and say, Toby did this, Toby do that. You cannot come. They report each other to each other, to each other, to each other. Before I even hear about anything, they would have solved it. Do you know this? They don't even do that anymore. They're growing. So the more they grow, the more they see, the more you have peace. The way you will be running after little ones should be different from the way you'll be running after teenagers. If you have done your homework very well. Women were the one that stays at home, we're the one that runs the home. I don't know about your home. Most home. the home should be run by the woman. So if you're running the home in order, you shouldn't have any problem. They should not just turn to tough teenagers or rebellious teenagers. But if you have been doing this and doing that, you sneaking around, doing stuff, they see you, they know. So see me crying, ma. There's no stepchildren. Yeah, I don't have more wisdom, doctor. Preach it, please. Well done. If you put each other down, there will be no respect for either of you. Oh yes, you're talking behind each other. You're talking behind each other. Okay, that's within the house. I need to really talk about, what about the parents outside of the home? Okay, it is very important that you agree for the sake of the kids. And it is very, very important for you not to be poisoning their mind when they're with you. Because it's not only about giving that parent an unrest, it's about the future of that child. That's what you don't know. And that's why I always ask questions and ask questions and ask questions, because I want to see, I want to know if you've been damaged from when you were young. This is my favorite. This is Simbis. Okay? Simbis assessment. I use this for marriage counseling. Great for premarital counseling. Great for, if I don't care if you've been married for 30 years or 100 years. This is good. Every couple should do this. Every couple should do this. Saving your marriage before it starts. Great, great, great. If you go through this and you love each other, divorce is not an option. That is for sure. It is guaranteed. This will help you way back to when you were young. Your parent will ask you questions. You will be the one feeling this thing. By the time I begin to go through it with you, be like, wow, yes, how your mom used to do, who was the father in the house, who was the mother in the house, how you were treated, this and that, everything. And I realized from this assessment, or from asking you questions, some that were damaged, were broken since they were little. That mindset is still there. What you did to that child at that time, what your mom did to you. Somebody told me when we were growing up, we had step siblings, and my mom was the one at home taking care of everybody. The step sibling was the one doing everything in the house. She said my mom made them suffer. That's what she told me. She said, woman, my mom made them suffer. So she grew up marrying this man that already had 2 kids. She never had kids. And she thought, well, our own children are the real children. I said, for real? Okay, because the husband told me, doctor, I'm divorcing her. She had to go. It's not like she already had her own kids, but that's no peace in the house. Now the other kids are grown, your own is growing, so you already you divided your own kingdom by yourself. Because what she saw her mom did, she thought that was the normal thing. You only protect and care for your own kids. Those other kids, they can be the servant in the house. As a matter of fact, she told me they went to private school. The other 2 kids went to public school. The driver would take them to school. Those 2 will walk to school. How do you treat kids like that? It's evil, it's witchcraft spirit. For real. Even if you're not the mom, even if she's your maid, I said before, I'm repeating, if you're just joining, employing underage kids as maid is not good. Do you want your kids to go serve somewhere else because they need money? If it's somebody, family member, or somebody you want to help, bring them in. Let them go to school. Raise all of them together. Show them to do stuff, because that child that is serving yours, you training her. You're not training your own. They will grow to be old, and then the husband will be calling you, Mommy, do you know Funke cannot even boil egg without burning it? Do you know Shade cannot even cook rice without having extra salt? Because you didn't raise her. You were raising your maid, thinking you're punishing her. You were raising your niece, thinking you're punishing her. Blended family. Okay. Whose house do you live in? Where the kids move from their school, do they have any contract with their old contacts? Okay, when you begin to move kids around, you're moving from state to state, you sharing custody. Don't pull kids during the school year. You want to plan, okay, I want to remarry, or I'm leaving this marriage, I'm moving away. Plan, don't yank them. It affects them. I just bless God for my life, because sometimes when you're doing things you don't even know. Do you know Toby told me he went to how many schools? 7 or 9 school, from elementary to high school, within the time before he went to college. And Tommy said, yes, it's true, I've been to 7 schools. And Tony couldn't say anything anyway. He only went to preschool, and he was in. So I sat down before we moved to this house. I sat down, I said, baby, do you know what this kid said? He said, what? I told him. I said, please, let's buy a new home, comfortable. If we buy, we have to buy something comfortable. I'm not moving these kids, not moving these kids, you know what, until they go to college. Because you have to think here, okay, she's in elementary school, she's in middle school, she's in high school. Middle school is 3 years, high school is 4 years. You need to plan ahead before you do things, because it's affecting them. Especially if you don't have kids that are up there. I'm really, really blessed. I thank God. I really, really thank God. My kids, they're very, very smart. And because when he told me, I thought, oh my goodness, I didn't know this happened. I didn't know this happened. How do you move kids to 9 schools? Between elementary, in between we moved to Nigeria, we moved from California to here. I felt really, really bad. And when I'm doing counseling for parents or parenting, I always tell parents this: think ahead, plan ahead. Don't just be yanking them. If they're not kids that are very smart, even kids that are very smart, you're doing something to them. You mentally, emotionally, you're disturbing them. My kids told me we don't have best friends, because how can you have a friend? How can you have best friend when you've moved 9 schools? Thank God for Facebook and everything. They still look for some of their friends on the social media. And I thought, you know what? My dad was a sales manager. We moved a lot too. Okay, the only place that I can say I was stable was my secondary school. Because at the time that I wanted to move to the north again, I said, I'm going to the hostel. And then they closed the hostel. I had to go live with an auntie. That wasn't pleasant, but you know what? At that time, I just thought I didn't want to leave my friends. But you know what? Sometimes these kids don't have says. You take them away from their school, away from comfort, away from friends. It's emotionally damaging. We don't know. I'm telling you now. So before you make that move, before you move from one state, before you move from one country, before you move from one country, before you move from one school, it's not good to move during the school year. Plan ahead. Summertime is 2 months at least. Plan ahead, okay? She's in high school. You don't want to move until she finishes. But if it's an emergency, you have to. If you have to, you have to. But I'm just saying, think ahead before you do that. She's in middle school. She has 1 year to finish middle school. Why don't you wait? Because she's still going to change school anyway, from one middle school to high school. Even though some of her friends will be in the same high school. But if you're going to move her again, at all, wait for that 1-2 months to finish that semester. Summertime is a good time to move, to look for houses. That's when people move around. Look for somewhere comfortable. You know, okay, 3 years in middle school, we're going to be in this house for 3 years. If it's not your home, and if you're going to buy, think ahead of schools. Some of you say, hey, cheap, houses are cheaper there. And it's in the city. Why do you want an inner city with damage, with bad schools? Because it's cheap or because it's inner city? Think about the future of your kids. However, I have moved. How many times that I have moved? One thing that I know, because I worked in the school system, so I know for sure that, you know what, I do my research about school before we move. I don't just want to yank my kids to any school. I don't just want to take them to any neighborhood. I don't go to bad neighborhoods. I don't care how cheap it is. We live in the countryside. This is like, a lot of black people will not come and live here because there are a bunch of white people. It's okay. It's okay. Sometimes before they misbehave, they look at you, they look at your status, they look. If you're not troublemaker, if you just go to work and come back, the only people that I know here is my next door neighbor. I mean, probably watch us for like 1 year before he became our friends and would wave and say hello to us. He helped me one time bringing the grocery, you know, he did something that I was like, okay, when did that start? The other one there, well, she probably waves, she's black. That one is white. So I live in the country. A lot of black people will not come here. When you see a black person here, they're professionals, they have good jobs, or they know they need this quiet environment to raise their kids. You have to look at the schools that you're going to take your kids before you pay for that mortgage or buy the house, or before you sign that lease. Please, it is very, very important. In moving around, in integration, in blending, school is very, very important. It is priority, okay? I had to say that. Let me see. I didn't know how bad we were moving until one of my kids wrote in a middle school speech and described how it affects our friendship. It does. It does. It does. Sincerely, it does, okay? It does. I had a friend in primary school. She was my best friend. And when we moved the state, we moved from, no, it was back then, it was the same state. But there was no phones, there were no social media, no internet, nothing. You only write. And sometimes when you lose that contact, it is over. Now you begin to see your whole, somebody just sent me a message this morning. Kunle was my classmate in elementary school. We were in Ibadan. I used to walk from my home to his house to get him and his sister. Then we walked to school. From Ajayigbe to Okeado was the school then. So we walk. Now you begin to see people. These are my friends. We grew up together. We were friends. But because my dad kept moving and kept moving, you know, what are you supposed to do? You had no say. Your parents would just uproot you. You're going. My parents were not rich. They were just hardworking people moving around, sourcing for income, you know, good life. So think about that when you're planning, because they know it affects them. They tell you, okay? They tell you. And if you're that mean parent or super parent that they can talk to you about, they will tell their friends, they will write it on their social media, they will write it. If they have journals, they will write it. That's what they're feeling. Okay, so sometimes ask them, okay, we're gonna move, what do you think about it? Or tell them, we're moving to this neighborhood. I tell my kids, go do your research. There was a house we wanted to buy, like I think 5 years ago. My son said, he was in high school at that time. He said, Mommy, please, I cannot go to that school. I said, why? He said, go and look at their rating. In the US, you, even when you're buying a house or you're renting, go to the school within the community and check their point. They have points. 10 is the maximum. So anything below 6, you don't love your kids. Trust me. 6, I will not move to that house. 7 is okay if I really, really love the house. So at that time, I said, what are you guys talking about? He told me, said, that's not a good school. Then Mr. Stevens said, go check the point, this and that. And we saw the point. We love the house. I love the house. I really, really love the house. So I was trying to convince them, like, but they have 6. They score 6. My son said, why would I leave a school that is scoring, I think Dakula High School at that time, was it Dakula or Duluth? I think it's coming from a school scoring 9, and I want to take them to a school scoring 6. And I read about that environment. Trust me, I said, you guys are smart. You can handle this. It's okay. There are kids going from there getting scholarships. There are kids going from that neighborhood, from that school, going to colleges. You'll be fine. Because I wanted the house. As God will have it, within the contract didn't go through. They were so happy. I think I was the only sad person in the house. They were so happy. I mean, like, really, really happy. We had to wait another year before we bought this one, because I just needed to move from that house. It's like you've tired of something. So they did their research, and Toby already finished high school. He doesn't have to change school again. Tony was moving to middle school. Toby told me, so it was like, okay, it's gonna be a change anyway. She's going to high school, even though she's gonna meet some of her friends. It's okay. It's still the same community county, and she's going to middle school. It's okay, you're still gonna change school anyway. You make new friends, but I promise we will not move until you guys finish whatever you're doing. So you need to look for comfortability for yourself and think about your kids too. Buy in cheap house so they have money for ashwebi and gold. And at the end of the day, the kids start doing drugs with the type of kids in the neighborhood they go to school with. You are so right. When you tell me your kid is misbehaving, well, if it's not from home, it's from school or from the community. You work in 2 jobs to provide for these kids, and then you've gone all day. They come back from school. They want to go play with their friends in the neighborhood. They out there. You go to some neighborhood, you see kids out there smoking. You see kids sagging. You see some girls, they look like prostitutes, and you like, oh my goodness. I had to drop somebody from work like 2 years ago, and she didn't bring her car. I said, don't worry, so it's still on my way home anyway, I'll drop you. I dropped her. I felt really, really sad, but I didn't want to say anything. So she ran to my window to say thank you, Miss B, and I saw like, okay, that's one of the kids came to hug her, and then the other one was there. So the following day, I said, those were your kids? She said, yes. I said, how long have you been living in that community? She said, 2 years. I said, I wasn't a counselor on that job, so sometimes when I talk, they wonder what is wrong with her, or who is this woman? So I said, okay, you've been there for 2 years. Please be sincere. When you moved to that house, are your kids the same as you moved there 2 years ago? He said, what do you mean? I said, that kid that came to hug you, that's your daughter? She said, yes. And I said, the other one that was leaning by the car with those boys smoking, that's your son, because he looks like you. He said, yes. I said, please do yourself a favor. I know you're a single mom raising 2 kids. No, they're 3 kids. They're twins and then 1 girl. I said, do yourself a favor. Whatever you want to do. How is the son? He said 15. I said, oh my God, well, it's not too late. How is the girl? 12. I said, okay, it's not too late, but do yourself a favor, please. For the sake of those kids, you need to leave that neighborhood. She said, why? I said, you tell me why. Then she started crying. I said, why are you crying? She said, you see that boy out there? He's already smoking weed. Those are his friends. Miss B, but I have to work. I said, I know you have to work. And you're lucky that you do a job, 4 shift, that you finish at 3:30. Even if you do overtime, you still home by 5 o'clock. So you still home during the day. But I said, okay, that's 15 is in high school. I think that's junior. It will be they're the one that come home first. So between 1 hour or 2 hours that you get home, it can do anything. It can do anything. I mean, it's smoking weed, probably having sex. I don't know. I said, you're a 12-year-old. At least she's still coming to hug you. The boy didn't even see you. But I'm not judging her, but the way she's dressed, my child better not come and hug me in that clothes. I said, but I don't blame her. Is she working here? She said, no, you bought that. You paid for that clothes. And she's out there with those boys. I said, some of these boys smoking with your son, they're older than him. Probably senior is a freshman in high school, and the senior and stuff. I said, please do yourself a favor. That's why you're working too hard. You come, you exhausted. He said, oh, Miss B is so rebellious. It's not even listening to me. How can somebody be smoking with and he'll be listening to you? He's high on something. So he cannot. So please be careful when you're choosing communities or this and that. Sometimes you only have to pay $50, $100 more for your life to be at peace, to be peaceful. These kids are not going to be locked up in your living room. The kids learn from their surroundings. Oh yes, they learn from friends. I mean, my neighborhood, you hardly see any kids outside. Tony is the one that will say, I want to go. She likes to do sport, athletics. She will take ball. I'm going to play with my friends. And then they will all gather here with the boys. Even the friends, their boys, will be making fun of her because she's tall. So all the girls they feel intimidated with her height. Okay, but when you see your kids, when you see the kids roaming with them, you should know You think, oh, I'm training them well, they're good kids. You should pay attention, check them sometimes, sneak on them without them knowing, because you don't want them to feel like, oh, you're invading my privacy. I will not invade it in your presence. I will go into your room where you're not home. I will check in your computer. If I don't know what to do, I'll make somebody teach me and see and sneak up on you, because you want to check them. Even though you don't want them to feel like, okay, she's choking me, still check on them. Be there with them. Sit down with them, talk to them, take them out, talk to them individually, jointly, please. Okay, are there any family members that the kids are in contact with? What do the kids call their step-grandparents? This I'm going to say. You know, a lot of things happens to me. I wonder why. But sometimes when I'm in counseling, I'm like, God, you will make me go through stuff like this because you want me to teach people, or because you want me to minister to a soul. Well, it's okay. Are there other family members? Like my kids in New York, their grandparents, their two grandparents are there. When it comes to Mr. Stevens' side, his mother is still there. Okay? When it comes to my side, so the ones in New York, they're actually the blessed one, because all their family, they're all there. That's why their mom moved to New York to be with her family. They're all there, so they have all that family support. That's why when they were young, it's difficult for Debola especially to adjust because of all the stuff that she's been fed with, okay? For my side, it's not a pleasant one. And that's the truth. And I'm going to say this in case you're going through this, okay? What is important is your children and you and the relationship you have with them. Sometimes I feel like I'm all alone in this world, okay? My kids have lived in Nigeria for 2 years. They never met my father, which is still very painful to me. My mom had to force herself to come to my home because my ex-husband was like, they can't come here. Yes. His mom used to come, so they knew the mom. And when we separated, I got a divorce, none of them, it's been 8 years that I left that marriage. None of the Komolafe family, if you're hearing me, I will say it, I'm bold to say it. None of them ever called my kids. Before the divorce was final, my dad was still alive. I told my dad said, okay, call the mom. She'll never pick my call, that's fine. I told his son one time, like, this is really, really sad. I know I'm a good person, but let's assume Busola is a bad girl. I said, I served you, all of you, when I was married to you. I served all of you. My parents never came around because you did not let them come around. Your family always come. My sister was the only one that was allowed to come into my house when I was living in Nigeria. I didn't fight all that. None of your family, how bad could I be that they would not look back on 3 kids? Your mother would not even call once, because so I divorced you, they're no longer part of your family. They're still your name. I could change their names. I can do that. But I will not. I want them to grow up to know who your family. So that's one of the things that I'm teaching my singles class. Search, do your FBI. It's not only about this man. Sometimes you can marry a bad spouse. Don't marry a bad spouse. So, but the parents, the family will be so loving. They're great. And sometimes you marry a great husband. And the family, oh my goodness. So it's still all part of that. Back in the days, everybody lived together in the same compound, in the same community. Now we're all scattered all over the place. That doesn't mean you cannot check on family members. Because she left you, because he left you, doesn't mean your grandchildren will be deserted, will be abandoned. I don't even talk about it with my kids anymore because they don't know them as their family. They know everybody in this house is their family. I used to feel so sad about it, but I'm not this crying person. I used to think about it like, how can people be like this? So, none. Then the family, the only one that I know they're very reasonable is brother, his immediate brother. I love him to death. And no matter what, the wife and himself, I can never fault them, okay? They are family, so they need to support their family. I can never do that. I will not do that. But everybody is raised differently. Everybody have their own belief and opinions. At the time, I had to call the wife because we're close. They all lived with me when we were living in New Zealand. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. What kind of family is this? I will never stop any one of you from calling my children. They still come laughing. But nobody. What did I ever do to you? Even if your brother had caught me with another man, that's me and him. But I didn't even do that. Even if I had killed somebody in your home, I didn't even do that. What is my offense and my kids? And I said, these kids will grow up, be somebody, and you want to claim them. I'm waiting for all of you. You know, this Nigerian belief that, oh, they will grow up and know their father. No. These kids these days, they know who the true parents are, because the true parent is the person that brings up a child, the person that is there running from hospital to hospital. I have to finish this early now to take Tony to the emergency. She bumped her feet with something. I'm the one running around. Mr. Steven is the one running around. And then she's Dr. So. She's the president of the United States, and somebody is claiming parenthood. Please, everybody should wake up. What you want is sow what you want to reap. So, who is the other family member in their life? For my kids, nobody. I'm saying this boldly. I'm not happy about it sometimes, but you know what? You cannot. People can behave anyhow. I can control myself. I can be responsible for my own attitude and my own acts. And when it comes to Mr. Steven, I've told you about his family. They don't like me because I married him. He loves me too much. I have done voodoo to him. The mom used to call, like, ask about my kids. Now she doesn't even do that. It's okay. You know, I was happy, like, okay, she's there for them as grandparents, as a grandmom, and my kids loved that. But now they're fine. It's okay. Even our own grand biological grandkids, you know. So I cannot control anybody. You cannot control anybody, but you know what? Still teach your kids with love. They know they have families all over the world. Okay? They know. And from my own side, my parents are dead, unfortunately. My siblings, I think my two siblings have seen my kids when they lived in Nigeria. You know, one way or the other, they do. So when I'm talking about family, my kids know my sister and my little brother, and she's always praying for them. You know, she will call their birthdays and this and that, so they know that. So when it comes to grandparenting, please, separation, divorce, or anything, don't lose sight of your grandkids. Don't lose sight of your children. You still have to be in contact. You still have to be in their lives, unless they shut you out. And before they shut you out, something must have happened. And before you shoot somebody, you shut somebody out of the children's life, please sit down and think right for these kids, not for you. Whatever their maternal grandmother done, it's okay. She's still their grandchild. She's still the grandchildren. Whatever their mom did to you, they are still your grandchildren. They're still your nieces and nephews. You're still the uncle, you're still the aunties. Please, don't just think about now, think about tomorrow. I've seen families marrying. I've seen adults. Somebody married, she even got pregnant for his own father because she didn't know. They were taken away when she was a baby. I've seen somebody married his own step brother because she was taken away when she was a baby. Family, please. Please, please, please. Have you created any new family traditions? I'm trying to rush. 2 hours already. Oh my goodness. Create your own family tradition. What we used to do, what they used to do, you're all in this house together now. If somebody is in your home, create your own family tradition. Anyone that comes into that home, they begin to do according to what you do in your home. When they step out, if you step out of my home now, it's okay. I don't have control over you. I'm not responsible for you. But when you are in my house, I'm responsible. Either you're an adult or a child. I'm responsible for you in my home. Okay? That's the insurance. An efficiency space in a good neighborhood is better than 3-bedroom in a efficiency. In a bad neighborhood, okay, yes, good. Let their friends visit so as to study them. Yeah, let their friends visit. Ask questions about his childhood and family. Very well. They have wicked souls and you can't change them, but they will reap. Yes, you will reap whatever you sow. Art not fit. Thanks for discussing this. Yes, ma'am. I'm glad you brought this up. I just don't understand why ex-in-laws do not follow up. The children are going through the same. Auntie Tony, in fact, it breaks my heart, but it doesn't anymore. And I've told my kids, I've allowed them, I've sat them down. We always have family meetings to discuss issues like this. And that's what you should do for your kids. Let them know the truth. You're not lying. They've grown, especially when they've grown. There's nothing I can tell my son now about his father. He knows. He knows. I don't need to say anything. So if I mean, 8 years ago, you don't even look back on your own grandchildren or your aunt or your nephews and nieces, and you call yourself family. If I have my way, if I really want to jump and be unruly, let's go change your names. They don't want. It's not like, I mean, I feel like they don't want them. You divorce a wife, you have to divorce the kids too. No. I know a lot of people are going through this. That's why I brought it up. I'm going through it myself, but I don't even think about it anymore. And when your son brings home a woman, I'm going through this too. Mr. Steven wanted to marry me. We give each other joy. So what is your problem? So whatever that man or that woman is bringing, accept, open, have an open mind. They're children. I don't know why you hate kids, because they're not your own. Maybe it's me. I just don't know. I'm so passionate about this. Maybe it's me. I love kids. I want people around me. And the moment you are around me, you need love. You're supposed to be loved. How can you not like it because they're not yours? Is that not evil? Anyway, don't let me emphasize too much on that. Let me just not, because you think, oh, it's because, no, I know a lot of you are going through this. I speak to you all the time. But you know what? Still love them. It's okay. That's fine. That's where they want to behave. You cannot control their emotion. You cannot control them, but you can control yourself. I know I'm doing the right thing. I know I'm in the right place. I know I'm trying my best. And if my best is not good for anybody, it's okay. As long as God is on my side and I'm pleasing God and I'm happy within myself, that's fine. So don't worry. They don't accept them. They abandon them. Still give love and don't make it look, no, don't preach hate to these kids. If they ask, my kids used to ask, and I told them, you know what, it is what it is. They are adults. They're responsible for their own acts. Your kids, it's nothing that you did, so don't even think about it. So I won't make them hate anyone, but they can figure things out. Okay, they can. Things like this makes the children overprotective of their mother. Oh yes, they begin to like shield. Now my kids know I'm fine. They know that I'm fine. They don't want you. They don't love you. They don't even call. I used to call the ones in Australia and Texas and all that. That are the plans, like my husband doesn't like it. And I said, that's fine. She even removed me from our Facebook page, because to me, we all live together. You know me. Okay? So because I divorced you now, we all should be enemies. That's fine. That's the way they want to play it. That's the way they want it. I'm fine. If she decides tomorrow to call me, it's okay. It's okay. No problem about that. What is okay? Sometimes you need to call your children and ask them questions. What is the best thing about being in this blended family? What is the worst thing? Is there anything that seems as though it will never be resolved? Are there conflicts that you may think these kids will never get along? These kids will never get along. These kids will never be friends. This house is always going to be like this. Sit them down. Talk to them. What do you think? What is she doing that you don't like? What did they bring that you don't want? What is it? Sit them all down. Let them know what is going on. don't feed them with too much that they don't need, but what they need to know, like I told you about our finances, I let them know. So when I'm spending money, don't think it's my mommy's money. It's our money. Don't think I will say no and daddy will say yes. It's our money. When I say no, he's going to tell you no. What is the best thing? So let them know. My kids, I think they enjoy that. They're many. And when the rest are not here, then when they come, it's like we are used to like, oh, one big happy family. They all chasing each other around. They love it. I mean, I went out one day. I don't know what happened. Somebody did something to Destiny. Oh my goodness. Toby can be overprotective of his siblings. He went like, that's my brother you're talking to. I was scared, like, ew. And I won't look at them because Destiny is lighter. You know, I was the one that took them out. Mr. Steven wasn't even there. So you look at him and look at Toby like, okay, well, I could say you look alike if you're lighter like him or if he's dark like you. But it's like the way, I mean, I was just looking at them like this. I think I asked him later what happened. He said he did so to my brother. I said, okay, that's good. That's how you bring them all up, to fight for them. So even when they're not home, they go out there. They can fight for each other. They can support each other. When they come home, they can be screaming. But you know what? Unite them in that love. So outsiders, strangers will not even penetrate. Okay? Are you happy with your decision to go into this marriage? Are you happy? I'm talking to the adults now. Talk to each other. Are you happy? Do you want to go into this marriage? Is this going to make you happy? Is children your children? So I know a lot of people have asked me to talk about this on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the happiest. How happy is everyone with the current family situation? Okay, before you get into it, and even when you are in it, check. Do evaluation once in a while, call each other, see what is going on, observe what is going on in your home, okay? In case of, okay, the spouse died, that's why you are in this marriage. You know what? Allow people to mourn. And I said it last week, somebody's talking about hanging pictures. Mourn the dead before you jump into another marriage. You need a babysitter, go get somebody and pay for that babysitter. Don't bring another woman and be punishing her, using her as a babysitter and your cleaner and your bedmate, and not show love. So let the children mourn whatever they have to mourn. Even they need to mourn the death of a marriage. So allow them to do all that. Allow them the feelings, especially kids. Allow everybody to express their feelings. Okay, let them share what is going on in their mind. Acknowledge whatever they're going through. That's why I started with bad husband and bad in-laws. That's why I started with counseling. Thank you, ma, for sharing. You're welcome. So if you're single, never married, I know a lot of you are scared about marrying somebody with kids. It's a lot of things to deal with. Sit yourself down. Think, do I want to do this? Can I love his children like I'm their mother? Can I love our children like I'm their father? If you cannot, it's not everyone that can love, can just have open heart and love. That's why I asked a client, I said, why did you adopt this child? Why? I mean, people have kids. I can adopt now. I have 5 already. I can adopt. I told Mr. Smith, I said, I feel like adopting a baby. Just look at me like, So why would you bring a child that you cannot love as your own? And if you have a fertility problem and you think, okay, the doctor said the only option left now is to go adopt one. Well, make sure you can show love. You can love that child. You can love that person. Somebody's living in your house. Love that person. Do your research. Talk to your head, your brain. Can I do this? Do I have an open heart? Can I embrace this child as mine? Especially if you're marrying somebody with teenagers, that's not an easy penetration. So get help, get counseling. I'm not going to discourage anybody. You know what? We're all not going to marry single guys without kids or single women without kids. We're all going to be blended and integrate somehow, but you have to be the one to do your homework and be ready for this. Blended family, I'm loving it. I didn't ask for it. I didn't pray for it, because when I went to the first marriage, I wasn't thinking about divorce. Things happen, life situation happen. But before you jump again, think about it. Think very well about it, okay? All right, we have Nimerex. Okay, Nimirex, where's the card? Let me give before I forget. And then I'm gonna post my flyers. I'm gonna be in Nigeria this time next year. Okay, I will be. Oh, today is the 21st. We have an event on April 21st. It's an adult hangout for singles and marriage. I told you, bring your boyfriend. He will propose to you that day. Bring your wife that you think, oh, she's cool, she's cold now. I don't even know, she doesn't love me anymore. He doesn't love me anymore. Go out, go. It's not only about parties and dancing to Sonia Adi and spraying. I love Babao and spraying Wasiu. I love his music too. You know, it's not only that. Go out sometimes for things that will bring value to your life, things that will help you develop you, self-development. Your marriage is a priority. It's like life and death. It's living daily. The way you live daily it add value to your life. If your marriage is dead, you know what? Come to this hangout. I promise you, you will go back home differently. I have some speakers that are coming because this woman, she just encouraged me one day. Said, Dr.O, it may feel like you see bad marriages all around. I said, I'm happily married. I'm happy in my home. I'm happy with my marriage. So I'm always happy to read your testimony. And that's why I keep testifying. You think I'm boasting? It's okay. I can boast with Mr. Steven. He's a cute guy, okay? Yeah. So we have an event today, 21st, exactly 1 month today. We post the new poster because I have speakers. We're going to talk about health, how it affects marriages. We're going to talk about security and things you need to look for. We're going to talk about, I want to bring that couple and let them share, like, marriage can be sweet. It is what it is. So it's not only Dr. O telling you it can be good. It is good. I know it will be good if you want it to be good. It takes 2 people. So I have 4 speakers. It's going to be from 4 to 9. We're going to have a full bar, full. We're going to eat. We're going to have red carpet. It's going to be fun. We're going to have dessert, cupcakes. You know, come and spoil yourself. Dress well. Go get a makeup artist. Even me, I'm going to do my face that day. It's going to be awesome, awesome, awesome. I promise you. I have super event planners. These ladies, in fact, I don't even know what to say about you. I'm not going to mention your name first until I come back and I start screaming your name because you're doing amazing things. I'm just doing my own studies. They're the one planning everything. And then we have sponsors. We have sponsors. Thank you, everyone that is sponsoring us. If you want to sponsor any of my event, I'm going to be in Abuja. I'm going to post all the flyers. I'm going to be in Abuja for a week. I'm going to be in Ibadan for like 4 days. I'm going to be touchdown in Abeokuta. I want to go to every city that my group has a chapter. Intimate Issues with Dr. Olubusola. I haven't done that in a while. I've been going through Abuja. I haven't been to Abeokuta. So we're going to start a new chapter in Abeokuta. You need any information, ask here, inbox me. We have I have some training coming up. In fact, my husband look at me like, you going to work in Nigeria? I said, yes. So the month of May, when I come back, oh my goodness, I'm going to take 2 weeks of vacation. Don't call me. I'm not doing nothing but just sleep and wake up and walk around the house naked when the kids are not home. Okay. So if you want to be part of sponsoring us, we need sponsors, okay? Because I want people to come and have fun. Come and advertise what you're selling. Come and advertise your business. I will even advertise for you on this show or my page or everything. When I come back, we're going to start up, because people are asking me about the domestic violence. We're going to start our campaign again when I get to Nigeria. We're going to do a lot of things, great things. You know what? Let's do self-development. I'm here for you. I know I can talk. It's okay. It's a gift. But when you see me outside of my job, I'm a very, very gentle person. Very quiet. I hardly talk. Okay. So thank you, Nimirex. Nimirex, you know, I've been giving free airtime to Nigeria for the past 3 weeks. I think 3 weeks. So I have cards again today. DrO, she's my PA here. She's gonna pick the winners. I don't know, our criteria for picking winners today. 3 winners is picked out already. Okay, that you pick 3 winners. It doesn't matter where you live. You know people in Nigeria and you can send them the airtime. Okay, we have we have some cards here. please go to their website. They do money transfer to Nigeria in seconds. I'm not saying minutes. I've been using them since I know this guy is one cool-headed guy. I love him. I thank him because I didn't even seek for him. He said, you're doing this for people. Your audience are very, very good people. I want to do this. And I said, okay, you want to give us free gifts? I'm not going to let it be free. I will be promoting your own business. So thank you, Nimirex, for doing this for us. And he has a lot of plans for, he's one of the sponsors for my event for the hangouts, because I want people to come and enjoy. Even if you don't have money to pay, please let me know. We'll find somebody to pay for you. You need this. Your family, I mean, your marriage need this. Individually, you need this. Please let me know. You want to come. Let me know. I can sponsor some people, but you have to be a member of my group, Intimate Issues with Dr. O. And you cannot get scholarship for free and not come. You do that a lot. No. I want serious people that know I need this, Dr. O. I'm single. I need to come and learn. Or I'm married and we need some spice in our marriage, or we're happy in our marriage. We just want to come to enjoy, to have fun, and to listen and to learn from other people too. Okay, so Nimirex, thank you. They have an app on iOS or Android, Nimirex.com. You can download it on your, let me show you. This is their app. This is the app on my phone, so I'm not lying. I've been using them. They send money for you in seconds. If you don't want to download the app, go on the website, Nimirex. Dio will post it, Nimirex.com. The rate is very, very good. I guarantee it. Before they start messing up, I'll be the one to come here and tell you, but I promise you they will not mess up, because this guy I like his mindset. They're planning great things. I like when Nigerians are thinking and using their brain for good things. You know, some people know us as 419 and fraudsters. When I see people, young people and old, doing things, I'm happy to support. So I'm going to support him as he's supporting us. Thank you, Nimirex. We have Femfis, my company, of course. Supporting. We have SB House of Fashion. They have bags. I'm going to post all their logos here. We're gonna have a backdrop for the red carpet. We're gonna have their logos there. I'm gonna be promoting them. You know, they're giving us stuff for the guest. Catherine More Fashions. You know, I told her she has to sew me something for me to be able to say yes, it's good, because me, I like to test. You know, I cannot promote what I don't believe in. So if I'm promoting you, I believe in you. So I said I'm gonna see some of them that are in Nigeria. So bring your business, come and support us, and we'll advertise for you. Nimirex, thank you. We have 3 winners: Bola Folarin, Bumi Awonaya, Ronke Orija Jogun. Thank you for joining us. I will, because sometimes I forget. It takes like 3 days before I remember, like, oh, I have to send their airtime. So I promise today, please, Dio, please remind me I have to do this today. And then we'll have some for next week. So if you join next week, we have some great gifts coming. So please share this video. I think I've done most things that I want to talk to. Understand child development and respect the child's experience of loss. Establish new family tradition. I've done that. Maintain a healthy family. Always love each other, because these kids they're watching. Cooperate with the biological parent. I've done all that. We have adopted kids in the Bible too. Moses was adopted. Esther was raised and nurtured by our cousin. Even Jesus. Joseph wasn't his biological father. So treat kids. You don't know who is going to be who. Treat them all equally. Next week, I'll see. Somebody wanted me to talk about something. I'll see if I'll just go ahead and talk about that, or we continue with dealing with adult children. Dealing with adult children. One thing else that is on my mind is this teenage. Now that they're teenagers. So I'm going to travel in April. I'm not sure. I've told them to look for a very, very good Wi-Fi network that I can use, so I can still do the show in Nigeria. If I can't do it, well, that means we're going to be on recess for 1 month while I'm in Nigeria. I'm going to be in Nigeria for 1 month. My itinerary, I'm going to post next week, so you can know where to meet me or where to catch me ahead of time. Okay, thank you everyone for joining. Let me quickly see if I have to answer any question. Hope I win. Oh, Sister SG. You know, Dayo, please put Sister SG, baby SG. She's been troubling me. She's been good for the past 2-3 weeks that she came back. So please, let's give her one. She can send to mommy or daddy or sister or anybody in Nigeria. Yes, when I give cards, even if you don't live in Nigeria, you can give to your people. I hope I win soon. Evelyn, you never won, really? Thank you, Nimerex. We appreciate you. Yes, we'll post all the supporters and sponsors here. The Hangouts, I did a new flyer to include the other speakers, so I'm going to post that too. So hopefully there's no question here that I'm seeing. So I'm going to hand this. I thank you. I appreciate everyone. Please, 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 please. The show is Ask Dr.O. So ask me anything. I'll bring it on the show and read it or talk about it. So the topics that I'm treating are what you sent to me. So I see, okay, which is priority or which one has more requests. So the reason I'm not announcing what I'm going to talk about for next week is I'll see what comes in this week. I will do that sometime. So I'm planning to talk about either the now that they're teenagers or adult children. So let me know, then I'll let you know before next week. Thank you, everyone. Dayo, thank you so much. God bless you. God bless everyone for joining. Share in your groups. Yes, yes, yes. I love you all. I appreciate you. If you just join, it's okay. I'm about to end it. I can't believe I don't even know how I talk for 2 hours on this show. And my tea, this tea, you know, somebody sent me a message like, Dr.O, I need some tea. This tea will make you sleep like a baby. That's how I advertise it. This tea will make you sleep like a baby. This tea is, in fact, 2 days. Today I had to wake up early because I need to prepare for the show. But Monday, Tuesday, I didn't even know when Mr. Stephen left the house because I was exhausted last week. So I had to drink like I need to sleep. You will just sleep. Like if you're not very careful, your alarm will be pam, pam, pam to wake you up for work. You will not even know. You having any pain in your body, this is good. My wellness program is going on. I need to let you know because FemFist is sponsoring some of these programs. So I need to advertise for FemFist. Nobody's supposed to be sick. Nobody's allowed to be sick. Your temple, your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. Whatever is going on, whatever issues, I tell people when they call me, you want to lose weight, it's okay. You have hypertension, that's fine. You have diabetes, you have body pain, low libido, no libido, you tired of sex, you don't want to think about sex. How can you be in a marriage and you cannot? Once a month is too much. Some people telling me 1 year, kilo day, why are you married? Whatever is going on with you, it's not the sickness. Something had brought up the sickness. Hypertension, stress, pain. Something happened before that sickness comes into your body. Whatever you're going through, okay, we can deal with it. It can be done with. And when you deal with the main issues of stress, will be gone. Hypertension, most of my clients, but especially those signing for the 28 days program, by the time you finish 28 days FemFist program, you probably, most people don't take their medication again. I will not say stop. You will just feel and know you don't need it. And when you go to your doctor, he probably asks you, what was the magic? Trust me on that. Diabetes can be managed. I've seen people that stop medication, whatever, digestive problem, whatever is going on with you, if you were not born with it, it means it came in somehow. However it came in must be gone. That's part of what we're talking about, blended family. Because you have this blended family now, hypertension have started. You've been taking medication for 12 years. It's okay that medication you can throw it out in the period of 1 month. I promise you that. So please give yourself some rest. Whatever is stressing you, deal with it. Deal with it. Nigerians, Africans especially, learn to seek for help, learn to go for counseling, get a coach. Dr.O has a coach. And the funniest thing is I pay more for my coach than you guys paying me. Okay? I pay more, like more. More. I'm talking about more. Now that I'm fine, I just call once in a while, you know? Because by the time I think about how much I'm going to pay an hour, so I better be okay. So I'm okay. But once in a while, you still want somebody to be accountable to. So you need a coach. You need somebody in your life that can say, no, you can't do that. Yes, you can do this. Yes, God is on your side. Yes, this is the right way to go. Get help. Get help. Your kids are throwing tantrum. They're messing up. They're acting up. Teenagers, please get help. If you don't have money, if they have school, especially in the West, ask for the school to help you with counseling, with therapy. Okay, let me drink. Lord have mercy. Whew. Lord have mercy. Thank you, everyone. I think I need to go. Love you. Love you too. Nice one. Thank you. Best tea ever. Yes, Dio. They just don't know about this thing. We have a saying, we have a phrase. I can sleep for Africa. You drink this tea, it becomes part of like, you don't have to continue to drink it. It just relaxes your muscles and set everything in the right place. It's pain. Oh, you wake up fine. This time last year, the reason I'm so happy is this time last year, Mr. Steven used to help me out of bed. I couldn't get up myself. I couldn't be myself. I couldn't drive around. Okay, I couldn't. And eventually, April 4th, 2007, I stopped work. I couldn't anymore. I couldn't handle it. The pain was severe. So I'm thankful. If you see me, my mouth running like this, you know, these are some of the things that helped me. So you need help, ask for help. Winners, okay, Dayo. Yes, Anitoyin. Yes, so yes, we can. Thank you, ma, for keeping it all real. Yes, thank you. If your kids want to talk to me, it's okay. Let them talk. Sometimes they need strangers to set them straight. Sometimes they need to hear from strangers. Please, let them watch this. Let them watch this. And I need to say this. One thing I'm planning to do during the summer, I'm trying to think how I'm going to make it accessible to kids in Africa. Video conferencing is okay. I've been using that for my meetings, and I mean, I know the network with Nigeria is not easy, but what I'm trying to do is to bring kids together for summertime, even if it's 1 or 2 weeks, like summer school. But this is transformation class. This is total transformation class. All this stuff you're getting for free, you're getting that's helping some of you adults. I want to do for kids too. That will be out. It's not going to be free, but it's not going to be expensive at all. I just want you to pay for it so you can tell your child, go log in, Dr.O is waiting for you, okay? So we're going to do that for summertime. I think I'll do 2 times because I know the kids in Nigeria, and I want to integrate them. I want them to be able, so I have to choose 2 times that the ones in Nigeria will be available and the ones here are still on vacation, so they can talk, they can discuss. Okay, video conferencing. I'm gonna be their coach. It's gonna be coaching. This is not even counseling. Their coach. You have a child that you know, my child is doing good, but you still want them to have, you know, or you have a child that you know, like, oh my, you need the help. The child needs help. I enroll them now because I don't want a class that will be too big. So I'm still seeing how many kids that I have would determine from age 13 to 18. Or 19. I don't want 21. They're adults already. We'll probably have another one for young adults. So from age 13, they're not too young, okay? So, and I want between that age group to be able to talk and interact. It's a video conferencing, they can see, they can hear. I have a lot of plans for this youth because I'm so concerned about them. I don't want them to live the life that I lived. I'm thinking about their future. So I'm giving it to them right now. So I did it for my kids and some kids last summer. I was happy with the outcome. So they don't have to live in Georgia where I live. Even though the ones that are living in Georgia, I'm going to take them out. We're going to have a free trip to some nice places. We're going to go out, go have dinner. Let's show them how to behave, how to behave, see the world in a positive way. They've been shown too much negativity. Let them know, you know, you can have a good life and still be a good child and still be a good Christian. You don't have to be a boring Christian. You can have it all and be joyful in the Lord. Muslim, it doesn't matter. You know, I don't really talk religion here because I know I have a bunch of people, Babalawo self, they're my friends, okay? As long as you have a good heart, we can click, we can be fine. So I will let you know what I want to do about the youth part, but think ahead, plan ahead. Okay. I think that's all the information that I want to pass. Thank you, Josephine. Oh, how are you doing? Everyone, thank you so much. I don't want to leave. You can see I keep talking, but I need to go. Tony's waiting on me to do something for her, and I have another appointment right now. Thank you so much. To life, to a good life, a beautiful life. I wish you all the best. Okay. You have any question, let me know. Inbox me. God bless you. I love you. Mwah.